right. All right, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Model Talk Tuesdays. I am so excited for the guest that I have today because not only is she a fabulous woman, but she's actually my Ebony Fashion Fair sister. And students, I'm just so honored that she said yes for you all to hear her journey. But before we get into interviewing this wonderful and amazing lady, Princess, if it's okay with you, I'd like to show your reel first, and then we're going to get into your story.
Sure.
All right.
I'll mute myself.
Okay. Let's see here. All right, you all. So Princess is an award-winning film director. She is a writer, producer, as well as an author. So I wanted to show you all some of the things that she worked on.
Lord, we need you now.
In the real life. So, who are we, the Obamas? Hello, bro. Hello, Michelle.
You know you need me here, right? For now. We can't have you second guessing every move we make, can we? You're fired.
You invited us up in here in an infestation? No. Nobody eats.
Stop me.
Trying to figure out whether you run into him.
I'm trying to solve you. Walk him out quickly.
Are you about to ugly cry?
Walk him out quickly.
Get out.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Go. How y'all doing? For those of you who don't know, I'm Angie's younger, sexiest sister, Jackie. AKA Mrs. Lord, come back here.
You're the only person in this house that doesn't treat me like a kid. You give it to me straight.
That's the only way I know how to do it.
Let me explain.
Explain what? How you try to break up my marriage? You don't just play with people's lives like that, Tweet. Nope. Get out of my house.
I had an affair. That's why we're divorcing. It's his idea.
You seem really worried.
No, I'm not worried. You know who worries? Dads.
You're pacing. Usually you're sitting.
What did I actually do to make you think that I was capable of murder?
I don't think you are, Pop.
Then why? Why didn't you come to me in the first place? What is this?
No shit. I'm done, Bob.
Everybody out! Who is talking
Give me
to you?
a second.
Hey, you got a decision to make. Where you off to?
To kill Carissa.
Yes. All right. Let me get this going here. Stop share. All right. So you all, we are here with the wonderful Princess Monique, founder of Princess Monique Films. How are you doing this evening, Princess?
I'm one of those people, I gotta unmute myself, but I was trying to, be respectful of the sound. But I'm great. I'm so happy to be here.
Wonderful. We're so happy to have you. So you all, I have to kind of give you a background of how I met Princess. For me, it was actually, I'm going to say spiritual, because we had a Ebony Fashion Fair reunion in 2015. And as you all know, I'm a former Ebony Fashion Fair model as well as Princess. And we're going to get in that story because I'm not sure if I know how she got on the tour. But we did this reunion, and the funny thing is I was just clung on to Princess. Like we were just, going through the backstage. I just remember those memories of connecting with you in that way, Princess. So, just thank you from the beginning for being such a beautiful, open spirit. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that, Princess?
I do. And I don't know if I can share my screen on here, but I also remember when we actually met before that I don't think you remember.
Uh-oh.
Look,
Let me see if I can give you, I don't know if I can do that on this type of platform. I'm trying to do
oh, dang, because it's YouTube, but what we'll do,
yeah,
I can't.
It's allowing me. Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
Okay.
I'm going to go back before that.
Oh, man.
Let me pull up both because I want the people to know how far we go back, right? I'm going to pull up two things, but the one, because I thought we met when we did, what was it? The news, we did the news platform.
Oh, yes. To promote the event.
You remember that, right?
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute.
Forgive me. Yeah.
That's one. But at first I thought that was where we first met, but it wasn't.
Oh,
it wasn't. I'm going to have to go back a ways on my IG, but this picture I found because I was looking for the other pictures, and I'm like, this picture is before that time period. I think, and I could be wrong, but let me see. I'm gonna pull up this picture right here. So I'm gonna share my screen of this picture. Can you see it?
Oh, wow.
And I believe we were like at a movie or something, and there was like a theater in Atlanta, and we were at a movie, and I was there, you were there, and we got to talking, and I don't think we even realized the Ebony connection at that time. And we took this picture.
Oh.
And it's because it's before, but I have to go I'll stop sharing right now. If I can pull up the other pictures
of
us modeling together, I will do that. Let me stop.
Oh, I remember that, but now I remember.
Yeah. We were gravitating toward each other and we didn't realize how we were already connected already. Yep, that's how it works. So I'm with you on the spiritual connection.
Yes. Wow. Okay, you all. Hey, Shariana. Hey, Gail. I see you all tuned in. This is
so I can't see them. They only see me.
Only because it's on that YouTube platform.
Right. Okay. Well, I hope you guys follow me and I'll follow you back, and then I can actually see your faces.
Yes, and it's comments on the live of the YouTube.
Okay.
So, it's a live feed. So yes. Okay. So we've definitely been gravitating. The universe has been pulling us together. And I'm so thankful again that you're here with us today because you are doing some amazing things, sis. You're doing some wonderful things. Yeah. And when I look at your reel, I'm just so proud of all of the accomplishments, because I know to get to that level, it's not for the weak. And yes. and so I'm thankful. So what we like to do on Model Talk Tuesdays is we like to kind of build the story and start from the beginning of where you're from. How did you grow up? Just so that we all can get a foundation of who you are, your culture, your background, and then we can go from there. Okay.
So I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. And I say Cleveland is my childhood home, and then LA is my adult home. What a little slash of Atlanta in there. I give Atlanta a little props. I've been there for a while. Going back.
I feel like that. Miami, how they say I was born in Miami, but Atlanta made me because, I was able to start a business and really grow as a woman. Okay, so Cleveland roots, and then LA, how can I say it? Maturity. That's where you mature.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I'll go with that. Okay. And, I came from Cleveland and thought I was going to come here to pursue more modeling, because I did do modeling when I was younger in Cleveland. And I actually was like, modeling and acting is what I thought I was going to come to LA to do. And some kind of way, I found directing. No, I mean, there's a big story to it, but I don't know how deep you want me to go into it. But
I want you to go as deep as you, because I want to ask some questions that I feel are deep, just on the journey and, various things that have happened. Yeah.
I'm going to do a shameless plug right here, just because I have really already poured it out in my new book. I don't know if you know about my book, but I put the whole story from my name, and is Princess my real name, and all that kind of stuff. Everything is in the book, but just to give you a short version of it is, I've always been tall, and I thought, oh, I'm tall, I'm supposed to be a model. And so I pursued modeling for a long time, and it seemed like nothing was happening in Cleveland. I would go to New York and try to get work. I would go to LA, and the modeling thing just didn't take off. So I went from Cleveland to LA, and I was like, I'll maybe just evolve into acting. And as soon as I got to LA and started getting into acting classes, I met a girl who did the Beauty of the Week for Ebony. I met her on set as I was like trying to pursue acting. And she's like, hey, I just did Beauty of the Week. And I was like, oh, I would love to do that. My people would think I have made it if I'm in that magazine. So I took some pictures with the photographer here, and they actually put them in the magazine, and I became a Jet Beauty of the Week. And from there, they invited me to come and audition for the Ebony Fashion Fair show. Wow. And so I went from LA, only been in LA like a year, to Chicago to audition, and actually got to be a part of that. I was on tour for 1 year. It was 99 to 2000, and it was the year that changed my life. When I tell you that, I learned more in 9 months than I learned in 9 years on a book.
You made it to 9 months. At least you made it to 9 months. They were like, Pearl, you need to keep your weight under control. You know what?
Oh, yeah. And it was tough because I dieted so much to actually get my weight down to audition. But it wasn't my natural weight. So when I got back on tour, I just went up my extra 10 pounds, and they were like, no, go back down. And it was tough. It was tough. So after I left the tour, I came back to, LA to take acting seriously. And I got into another acting class, and Chip Fields, which is Kim Fields' mom, she was teaching classes. And I started helping the students in class with their scenes just because I could tell how it should go. And so she was like, wait, I think you actually have a knack for directing. And she was a director. And so she started taking me around to different shows. At that time, it was like the Parkers, 101 Girlfriends, all those different shows that were out at that time, Steve Harvey show. And I started shadowing her on the show. And then after about a year, she was like, it's time for you to do something. And I was like, I'm not ready. She was like, yes, you are. So I did a short film called The Call. And it starred her youngest daughter, Alexis Fields. And I tell you, when I did that little short, it was something that clicked for me, that everything that you've learned, all your people skills, all your organizational skills, all your OCD, everything that is about you, and the ability to be able to see what you want and then make it happen. That's when I realized, okay, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. From there, I decided to go to film school because I said, if I'm going to do it.
And I apologize for interrupting you, but that first short film did win 9 awards, right? So it wasn't you that was the only one that realized something. The world was also speaking as well and saying, hey, this is something special and we want to award you. I have to watch that when I get a moment because I am feeling that, in the air, that was something special. That was a breakthrough. Okay, so after
it was, and I just posted it not too long ago, which is that I had won in San Francisco the Melvin Van Peebles Award, and Melvin Van Peebles just passed away, but it was winning that particular award that I was like, okay. This is the godfather of Black film and cinema right here. Mm-hmm. And if I am getting recognition on his level, I have to pay attention to this. So where was I? I was talking about after doing the film I went to LACC and got my cinema production degree. And all the while, I was just directing everything I could possibly do, from short films to commercials, PSAs, tutorials, music videos. I was just trying to get a shot to do a feature, because everybody kept saying, you ain't a director until you do a feature, right? And so finally, I got that opportunity with Lifetime when I did Seasons of Love with Taraji P. Henson and Method Man, some of the people you saw in the video. And I just like, ooh, I'm on my way.
Yes, that's a huge director debut.
Yeah, I mean, because I would say I'm lucky. I ain't had Tyrone in my first film. I actually had some well-known people. Gladys Knight, come on.
Yeah.
And it was actually a really nerve-wracking to direct, Oscar-nominated actors and Grammy Award winners and the icon.
Legend.
Yes.
I want to step back just a little bit, because I really want to talk about the journey as well. You had mentioned from going to school and then doing everything that you can get your hands on. Just from anyone that's watching that wants to become a director, or are these things all paid gigs? Is it you put yourself out there and get your name out there? What does that journey look like when you're trying to establish your name to get that feature film?
No, that's a really good question. It was all of the above, check the box, because my short films, I was raising money to do those films myself and taking money out of my own pocket to do those. When I really first got my first paying gig I was hanging out at Home Depot and I was complaining about something that I was trying to figure out how to put this thing together. Do I take it home? Do I hire a handyman? And I'm talking to this guy. He just said, you need some help. You look confused. I was like, why don't they have tutorials like in the middle of the aisle to show you how this stuff works? I don't know how to put this stuff together, but there needs to be a tutorial. And he was like, that is a really good idea. I didn't know I was talking to the owner of Home Depot.
Is it Arthur Blanks?
He was one of them. I don't even remember his name. This is so many years ago.
Okay.
I don't even remember his name, but he was like, that's a good idea. And he was like, we should do that. I was like, I'm a filmmaker. I would do these videos. I could show y'all. And I just started talking. And he said, really? And he connected me with the person who did their marketing. And that's how I got my first paid gig. I did that for Target and Home Depot. And then I did how they have the little trainings for when you come into the company, this is what you should do. This is how you should greet the people. I did those for them. And that's when I actually made a little bit of money. It wasn't really that much money, but I started making money and I put that money back into my films. And I just started hearing about the directing programs and that you got to start applying for the programs. And I started doing that and I applied, didn't get in. And so from there, I just was starting to get more mentors and just asking advice as much as I possibly could. Anybody that I knew that was directing something, can I come on your set? Can I shadow? Can I learn? I was doing whatever it took. Even Capitol Records at one point, they used to do these EPKs for their clients. You put together a whole package, And so I started, working with people who were doing those and did a few of those for them. I was just trying to figure out any kind of way I could pick up a camera and start shooting something. And kept going.
Awesome. And hey, Bridget, I see you. I kind of make this engaging just to make sure that I see them. So yes, from what I'm hearing from Princess, you all is just to make sure that you just get fully engaged in whatever it is that you're doing. And something is going to pop off eventually. Bridget is saying that's inspiring. This is just the beginning. We haven't even gotten to the point where I'm like, So yes. Okay. So yeah, so you start doing these tutorials for these different companies, and then mentorship and how important that is, Princess. Just could you talk to the students about that and aligning yourself really with the greats, surrounding yourself around the greats? Because I see some of your mentors is Magic Johnson. The list goes on and on. So
I believe that there should be mentors in every aspect of your life. your relationships, your spiritual part, your business, your finances. You need people. Why are you trying to figure it out when somebody else already know it? So I just look for the people who are doing it the way I want to do it, and I seek them out. Magic Johnson. I work for Magic Johnson. You want to know a real funny story? I don't think I've ever told this publicly. When I was raising funds for the call, it dealt with HIV and AIDS. And I knew he was a big advocate for HIV and AIDS, and everybody knows why. He had a foundation. And when I was like, he has to be someone who gives a donation to this project. Had never met him before. And I remember packaging everything up, and there was an address for his foundation. So I'm hand delivering this to his foundation. I went up to the building, and I went to probably I'm gonna give it to a secretary or something. We'll see what happens. I walk around the corner, there stands Magic Johnson. I was like, hello. And he was like, hi, can I help you with something? And he was going to his bathrooms were on the outside of his office in the hallway area. So him and his bodyguard was having him go to the bathroom. And he just stood there and talked to me. And I was like, well, I have this movie and I have this package that I want to do. And I wanted to see if the foundation could give me a donation. He's like, come in. I came in and he gave me a donation to my film. I don't think I've ever talked about that publicly. Every time I see him, he'd be like, that one little film. Look at you now.
Such divine order. Such divine order.
I worked for him sometime after that. I worked for him for 2 years with his Magic Hallway Pictures. Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay. So much information. Okay, so now we're on the set for Seasons of Love, I believe it's called, your director debut, excuse me. So you said, working with Gladys Knight for your first director film, Taraji P. Henson, Method Man.
Luckett.
Yes. Give us was there butterflies? How did you prepare? Did you have
let me tell you how I got Taraji, because everybody think me and Taraji are best friends. We're not best friends. Me and Taraji has a mutual friend. Her manager at the time was a friend of mine. And literally, I'm gonna tell you, this is one of those times where you do your prayers and you just how you just pray okay, if I'm supposed to do this, God, do it, give me a sign. And I was working at the radio station in Atlanta, Georgia. And I remember leaving the radio station really later than normal. And I go to make a right-hand turn out. And I almost hit this guy in the middle of the street. And then I realized I knew who he was. And I was like, Vince, what are you doing out here? So this person, Vince, was Taraji's manager. And I pulled over, we got to talking. And he said, hey, you got that script? I had it for 10 years. He said, you still got that script? Taraji is interested in producing a project and she's looking for some stuff. Let me read it again and see if I still like it, and I'll give it to her. And he gave it to her and she liked it. And that's how me and Taraji got connected. So
everything in its timing, right? This is somebody that you introduced the script to 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how impactful it was.
It was crazy.
If you have any questions, I know we usually save them to the end, but any in the middle, just feel free to type it out. Okay, where do I go next?
But you were asking about being on set. I have a thing that I do now, and I think it's because of Seasons of Love. It's like that that energy, that bubbly stuff that comes up. You can call it nerves, you can call it whatever you want. I have a really good way of either pushing it down or pushing it to the side and just focusing on the job at hand. But I hadn't developed that yet. But so when I would look around the set and see Taraji, and I would see all these different people. And it was some crazy. I mean, when you make a movie, I don't care. It's never perfect. There's always craziness going on behind the set. There's always stuff that you didn't know. Locations dropping out. People don't show up. All kinds of stuff. And it was a lot of chaos. And I was like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? But I would just look across the way. I'm like, Gladys Knight is on my set. It ain't that bad. Right. It just ain't that bad. It just ain't that bad. We don't figure it out. So Gladys Knight was probably the one who, and when I tell you everything that you think that she is, the empress of the world, she should be called, not just of soul. She is a gentle, beautiful spirit. She didn't she wanted to be with everybody else. I didn't have to isolate her or anything, but of course I did. I've been trained well. I'm from Cleveland, so I got her flowers. I found out what her favorite cake was and got the best cake in New York for her. I tried to do whatever I could to make her feel special, and I made sure everybody respected her and always called her Miss Knight. She ain't Gladys on my set. She Miss Knight on my set. And we bonded. She texted me today. Look, there she is, right there. That's my name.
Yes. And talk about this wall, this beautiful wall. I love it. I was asking you about it earlier. I think I'm going to have to take the time. I want to take the time and just start framing all of the, experiences I've had. So from an esoteric level, what does that do for you when you walk into the room and see that?
It reminds me of the journey. It reminds me of amazing moments that I actually am. I don't have to dream anymore. I am living it. There's no more dream. This is happening. It's happening. And it's just some of these moments. And I have like Princess Filmz Productions up there. So it goes this way, it goes that way. And it's just really just moments that, every time I walk up the stairs, this is a loft. Every time I walk up the stairs, I always pause and I look at one of the pictures and I'm like, that was a cool ass moment. Ooh, can we say that?
You okay? Look, I slip sometimes too. Now, is that Ava? Is that Ava right behind you?
Ava right here, Ava DuVernay.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what's so funny too? I met her at an award show and we were on the red carpet by each other, right? And the people were like, Ava, take a picture. So I was like, let me get my picture of Ava, right? But I just recently did a Zoom that she was on, and I was like, you're the first person that I have on this wall that I don't know, but I have a picture of, and I'm actually Zooming with them. And she was like, I'm on the wall. I was like, girl, you're right there.
Yes.
It was real cool.
Yes. Just getting closer and closer and closer and connecting. So orange, tell me about this orange. It's everywhere. It's in your hair. It's on your wall. It's in your branding. What does that mean to you? Why that color?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, I tell people, some people don't know my favorite color is orange because of the sunset, right? When you watch the sunset, right, it's one of the most beautiful, vibrant colors. But to me, every time I see that sunset, I always say, that's God, because man can't do that. So it's a constant reminder for me about God. Always keep God first. God is in everything. Look at my nails, it's orange right now. They usually ain't orange, but they are right now. But it's a constant reminder that God is with me. God has me. God moves through me. God is in my temple. It's all around. He's at all times. So look for it. It's always this conversation. I always say, okay, God, what you going to reveal to me in this conversation? And if I'm not thinking that way, orange will pop up and then it'll come back. So that's why.
The sunset and God. God is the most beautiful artist that nothing can compare from.
That ain't man out there. When I see that sun, I'm like, y'all can do all y'all want, but you can't do that. You can't make that sunset.
Yes, we're trying to replicate everything. So you were recently part of a Disney ABC directors program. You were mentioning that, your mentors were saying, get into a program. Tell us about that program. Was it challenging to get in the program, and what exactly is the program?
I've been doing a lot of program conversations today because I have people who are wanting to get in programs and want to know, like, what did you do to get in? Because it's funny. I tried, nothing. And now it's like almost every program that I apply for now, I get into it. It's like, this is weird, but it's in a good way, obviously. But it's just one of those things that I just be like, gosh, I remember those times when I couldn't get into nothing. And now I'm in several. But the ABC Disney directing program, I give them a lot of credit to this next level and elevation of my career, because I knew how to direct. I came from the indie world. I have studied under some of the best directors. I went to film school. I knew how to do the job. I just needed experience at doing the job and doing it on a bigger scale. So to get that opportunity, it is challenging because people are entrusting you with a lot to do this job. And once you start getting into it, you're like, oh, I see why it's so hard now. Because it's millions and millions of dollars that they are entrusting you to. And if you mess up, that's a lot of money for people to lose. So, but the Disney program, it really helped me understand the difference between film and television. It gave me confidence. It was a support group that I didn't know I needed, to be in a room with other people who has this journey, who've been trying, and they woe out like, what else do I do? To learn different formats like scriptation and really use Shot Designer, to learn how to shot list and block, my scenes out accurately. What else we like? And then too, taking my demo reel that I thought was good and, upping it, and it gets better and better the more work I get on it. And like, I got 2 more shows, and probably at the end of the year, I have like 4 more shows to add to what you saw. So, it's just been such a journey, but that program really helped me start connecting the dots for myself. And it was the thing that I needed to help me go to the next level of my career. So I will always have nothing but good things to say about them.
Now, I've been following you on Instagram, and you recently did some directing for Blackish. And I think you gave credit to this particular program for that. How did that work out?
Well, the program now is shifted a little bit in the most positive way it possibly can, because now if you get into the program, they guarantee you your first episode or a episode of television, which before, when I was in it, my class, which just ended, they did not do that. They pretty much guarantee shadowing. And shadowing is when you go and you just hang out with the director for their whole experience on that show, from prep to production to post-production, and you learn their process. And what that program taught me was that no, don't go. I used to go shadow and hang out with my friends, Bill Duke and all these different people, and just learn, right? But no, you should be going in like you're directing the episode. And so it bred something different in me. And then I also, when I did Greenleaf already. So one of my other mentors was like, you need to duplicate that experience. How did you get Greenleaf? And I shadowed on Greenleaf, and then I got an episode of Greenleaf. So I was determined I'm gonna shadow on Blackish. And well, actually, I really did a full shadow on Grownish. After I finished that, I said, hey, can I go over to Mixish? They said, yeah. I went over to Mixish and shadowed. Then I said, hey, can I go over to Blackish? They said, yeah. So I shadowed on all 3. But the whole time I was there in the Ish world, Ish family, I was in pursuit to get an episode. And I thought they would give me Grownish because it's it's not on ABC. It's not the big network. It's the smaller network, but it's freeform, but it's still a great show. And it's working with the younger people. So I was like, they probably give me that. And when they gave me Blackish, my head almost spun around on my head and dropped off my body. I was like, how in the world y'all gave me the big dog? But I think it had a lot to do with the impression that I made, while I was there. And I was there with that mindset.
Yeah. So you had the intention, you put the intention out there, and the universe responded.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another place I want to shift to, Princess, and it's about intention. So forgive me if I didn't write down the name of the challenge that you were suffering, the challenge that came upon your life. I'm gonna guess in a time frame of maybe 2018, 2019. Where you were fighting for your life. And I remember that. And what impressed me so much is that, sometimes people will count them, kind of give up or count themselves out. But your spirit was saying, I'm here and I'm going to make sure I'm here. Now that I'm all these other things that have come to fruition, it's like, I'm here to do something. I have a purpose and I'm not going anywhere. And I need you all's support. So I feel like when we talk about intention, you willed yourself to be here. So do you mind kind of sharing that if that's not too much for the segment?
Oh, it's a juicy question. Because the battle is not completely won yet. I do believe it will be won. It's interesting, the journey of it. The condition is called syringomyelia. It's a really weird name. It took me a long time to learn it, but it's a spinal cord dis-ease that when your spinal cord fluid goes into your spinal cord and starts breaking your spinal cord down. So what can that do? That can paralyze you or it can kill you. All right. It has like two things that it could do instantly, anytime it wants to. It is what they call idiopathic, which means non-curable. So they say it's non-curable. I say they say, because I believe in miracles. You know what I'm saying? I serve a God that I've seen miracles. I know miracles happen. So you can't tell me just because somebody else haven't made it through that I can't make it through. So I still continue to deal with it every day of my life. Every day. I've had 2 surgeries. They recommend more. I'm like, no, thank you. Unless God tells me I have to have another one, I will. But it is a choice that I have made. And I've come so far in the journey because it was scary as all get out. I thought I was dying and gonna die. We're all gonna die one day, right? But I didn't know when. I mean, they even say the life expectancy of this disorder is not a long one. So it actually just has made me live my life 100% more on purpose, 100% more present. So it has it came to wake me up. I feel like I was somewhat of a zombie walking around like, oh, but now it's like, oh no, I may not have that much time. I got to do this. I got to write a book. I got to finish a script. I got to do this. So my will and strength to do all these things. Every time I open my eyes every day, I'm like, oh, you're not done. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So I deal with it. I mean, I work with it. I work in a lot of pain. And I tell people sometimes they don't know because I got the bomb poker face, but
beautiful spirit and, energies. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've made a choice. I made a choice that I know life is going to end one day. And my choice is that it will end when my purpose is fulfilled. And so I need to fulfill my purpose.
And thank the universe for that awareness of that. So when we talk about purpose, you have your book called Hood to Hollywood. And then there's this quote in there that you have that I wrote down where it says, stop waiting to be discovered, and go ahead and discover yourself. And when you talk about just timing and, people think we have all the time in the world, regardless of what's going on in our lives, or we think we need to wait for something to happen. What is that statement? Stop waiting to be discovered. And what is that?
Well, when people come to Hollywood, they want to be discovered. I need somebody to discover me, darling. Somebody got to discover me. I'm really a star. So I was thinking like that. And so I kept looking. Every time I meet somebody, I'd be like, is this person going to discover me? Is this the person going to make this happen for me? Is this the person? So, and then it just hit me like all of a sudden, like, this ain't about other people. And then, of course we need each other to do the things that we do. But one, I have to make the decision of what it is that I want to do. People can't help you if you don't know what it is you want to do. And one of the reasons why I wrote the book was because I went through a journey of real discovery, of real intention, really dissecting. And I still do it. I still work on it all the time. But I have, here, let me see this right here. I have a vision notebook. I do a vision notebook. People do vision boards. I have a vision notebook, right?
Yes.
How about this? You see that Greenleaf right here?
Yes, I see
Greenleaf right here.
I see it.
I put that on there before I booked that show. So you see, I'm gonna work with on OWN. I'm gonna work with Oprah.
Yes. Wow.
So I put this together. I have my life purpose statement in the front of it. I break down everything that I want. And then from there, it's easy when people come into my midst that are supposed to be a part of that to have a conversation. I'm not trying to get something from you because more likely I got something to offer because you're part of this situation in this book. So that is why, I wrote it, and I wanted people to stop trying to look for somebody else to do it. It's not about nobody else but you. You do the work. You know what you want. I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. It'll come to you. You put out good, good will come back.
Whatever you put out, you said it will come back. Yes, I'm a believer in law of attraction as well. And just starting something. If you want to be it, just do it. Do not wait on anyone. It starts with you. It starts with you. Yeah. So that's what I teach the students. We have entrepreneurship. I'm getting just wows and wows and wows in the chat room. You all ask questions. Like, I get the wows. I
want to see the chat room.
Let me see if I could. Because this.
I can't see the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. I'll probably get distracted by it anyway.
But okay, so nonprofit, and you're rocking the shirt, Real Black Unicorns. I just want to state some statistics that I found on female directors. Now, African-American female directors or Black directors are a whole nother thing, but I saw, according to the Center for Study of Women in Television and Film, in 2018, of the 100 top grossing films, 4% were directed by women. In 2019, 12% were directed by women. And then in 2020, 16% were directed by women. So for me, it's nice to see the numbers increasing, but I'm not sure what it looks like for a Black unicorn, like you. Do you have those numbers or figures, or just kind of an idea of what that is?
I mostly go by the Directors Guild numbers, and that's because you can't work in Hollywood without being as a director, without being a part of the union, which is the Directors Guild of America. And I remember when I did Seasons of Love, and my friend sent me a pie chart of like white directors, women directors, or men, just all these different directors. But it was like, it said a slither was like less than 1%. And they call it women of color. So they group Asian, Hispanic, Black together. And it was less than 1% when I was doing that movie. And I was like, does that mean I don't exist? What does that mean? Like, I could not even understand. I still don't understand to this day. What does that mean? The numbers have been increasing. It has been changing, but it's not enough. It's and that's one of the reasons why I did Real Black Unicorns, is because I felt like, or I feel like, the African-American female experience is one that I just couldn't equate. I have white women mentors, I have white men mentors, I have Black men mentors, and none of them can speak to my female Black woman experience. And there's this space, I feel like there's this gap or this bridge that needs to be created between the people who can hire and the people who are talented enough to get the jobs. It's like, we got to bridge the gap between them and us. And so how do I do that? I started realizing Black women I had no books. I had nothing to read. I looked and looked and looked and looked and looked. And hey, if you hear about a book that I don't know about, please send it to me, because I sure will read it, because I love to read. And I just couldn't find anything about what I was going through. And I'm like, if I don't tell it, who will? And most of the Black women that I do know that really, really work, they're so busy working. When do they have time to write a book? And then eventually they will, if they want to. But that's where my heart is. And I just want to be the person to help answer those questions, help connect those dots. So I put it together, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I've been meeting some amazing African American females that are in different stages of the game. I mean, I have one girl, Kim, she just moved here from Chicago, and I should say Illinois. She's not Chicago. She always tells me, I think it's Springfield or something, but she moved to LA and she has 5 feature films that she's done. But how to navigate LA is a big monster. And so I can lend my mentorship to her. And then I have some that, you know, are trying to switch careers. They may have been a AD or a UPM or different careers that they're in. And now they want to direct, like, how do they transition? And not that I have all the answers, because I don't, but I do know a lot of people in different places. And I'm like, if I don't have the answer, let's go on the journey to seek it out together. And that's so much better than doing it by yourself.
No, absolutely. You need that tribe. And for me, Princess, I'm Haitian American. My family's from Haiti, and you all, we have about four more minutes on this platform. And I want to tell the story of the Haitian Revolution, because, you know, Haiti was the first of us that came over from Africa to defeat their oppressors. Danny Glover has been trying to do the movie for about 20 years, but he couldn't get funding. But when I think about Black directors and the small number, I think about just us internally, our stories, our culture, our history, and being able to have, you know, us as a team, you know what I'm saying, tell those stories. And then when I think of your name, Princess, you know, to me, you're a modern day princess, you know, from a monarch, you know, of deep, rich, you know, history and tradition. And you know, you've been put in this position just by way of who you are. You get what I'm saying? Your DNA. So I'm just thankful, you know, that you're aware that you're doing the work that you're doing. You mentioned that you were trying to find guidance from other Black female directors that you would have liked come before you. But what do you think about the perspective of us telling our stories authentically, and having the whole team, you know, well, I don't want to say the whole team because it's good to have diversity, but just, you know, the fact of having that inner core be, you know, authentic in terms of the directing and the storytelling.
You're meaning like make sure that Black people are directing Black stuff?
Yes. I think it's
very important because I must admit there has been a shift in my stance on it. I think I came from, and one of the reasons why it took me so long to write my book is because I felt that there was something missing in it. And it wasn't until, you know, the murder of George Floyd and then the riots. And then I had this overwhelming like amount of anger, and I cried and I screamed out, and, you know, I had back surgery. So I can't go out in the streets and, you know, protest like I want to. And I was just like, what can I do to help my people move forward? And in an unapologetic way, I'm tired of being politically correct in the sense of, I think you got to be sensitive to other people's experiences and feelings, but I'm Black, I'm a woman, and this is who I am. And I'm so tired of sugarcoating myself and pulling back and shrinking myself to make other people feel good about themselves. I do understand, if you read my book, it says, know your audience. So you need to know who you're talking to so you can use all your skills that you have learned to communicate with whoever you're talking to. But when that happened, I shifted because I wanted to just do a program for women. I said, no. This is going to be specifically for African-American females. And where Real Black Unicorn came into play was I kept going to these meetings and they're like, you're like a unicorn. We don't meet that many Black women directors. And I'm like, I know tons. Why don't y'all know them? Wow. And so our tagline is African-American female directors do exist. It's a lot more than people even think or even know about, but they don't know where to find them. I said, I'm going to help y'all find them. I'm gonna put together, if you see, we start putting together a directory of women and what they're doing. And so you will have no more excuses. You want the Black girl direct, holla at your girl.
Amen.
Because I can't do all the jobs.
Yes. And they now have a resource, an angel that they can look to. So Grace is asking, what do you do to encourage yourself when you've been told no or face a difficult challenge?
I'm laughing only because that word no has been a big topic of conversation today. And our mutual friend, Dr. Jada Jackson, I always use her term of, you have to reframe how you see no. We think of no as we are being, we can't do it, or that we're not good enough. We think of no in such a negative way. And I just look at no as a not right now with this person. Not right now with this person. All these stories I keep telling you, people coming back to me, right? It's just not right now. So it's not a rejection. It's a part of the journey. And there's not one person who's successful in this life right now that will not tell you that they have heard no probably 1,000 times before they heard yes. No can't be something that you let hurt your feelings. No, it's like, okay, no for this person. So let me go to it's about finding the right fit. It's a lot of us in this world, and it's going to take a long time sometimes to get to the right person. And sometimes you won't get but one no, then get one yes. And sometimes it'll be 100 no's and then a yes. And then some of that no is not them telling you no, but you ain't ready. So it's not right now. Because I'm thinking I'm gearing up to do a project that I've been working on over 10 years and been trying to get it done. I had this crazy vision, and TV didn't even have a platform for what I wanted to do, but I was still trying to get it done. And now people thought I was crazy the way I was pitching it. They were like, what? But now it's 100 billion shows that are limited series now, and that they're doing all these different, When They See Us and The People versus OJ. I'm like, I was trying to tell y'all this could be that type of story. And no one understood what I was talking about, but now they do, because it was not right now. And now I've grown as a director. The movie I'll make, or the limited series I'll make today, will be Oscar worthy. The one I would have made before would have been just probably good. Not great. So just look at no, it's just not right now with that person, and keep going, and don't get your feelings hurt.
That was such a wise response. Okay, so Gail is saying, very telling on who she is. A lot of people in that industry are cutthroat. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, she said are cutthroat and not willing to share regarding your Black Unicorn nonprofit because of competition. Kudos to you, Princess.
I'm gonna say one of my crazy sayings that I say, and I say this with love. Bullshit, Geraldo. It's a lot of great people out here. A lot. You attract who you are. If you're seeing those people, look within inside yourself and say, why am I seeing these people? Mm-hmm. I don't see them at all. All my friends are the bomb. All my friends are amazing. They're willing to help me. I can call for money. I can call for advice. I can call for a ride to the store. Like when COVID hit, I was like, I don't want to go to the store. My friends bought groceries and put them on my patio because I was like, I ain't letting you in. It's COVID. You got to think about that. The world is made up of a lot of people who think a lot of different ways, but I don't think that way. I'm willing to help people. And I know a lot of people who are willing to help people. That's why I have an organization, because I'm bringing in all these other mentors, because I know a lot of people, but I do understand what the person is actually saying, though, because there was a time in the industry that there was about this many jobs and you got this many people. And everybody's like, well, I ain't gonna tell you about this job because I want to get the job too. And, but even when I was an actor, if I was on an audition with one of my friends who were considered my type and she wasn't there, I'd be like, yo, you know about this audition down here on so-and-so, because I don't see you. And they would do the same for me. Wow. So people are out here. We're out here. Don't think about those other people. You know they exist. We all know they exist. Get away. Shoot at those people.
Yes, and Bridget said, yes, you are speaking to my soul. So you all, we got to let Princess go. This has been the longest Model Talk Tuesdays for this semester.
Love it.
Thank you, sis, so much for pouring your heart out, your authenticity to us and sharing your story. We are going to close out, but before we close out, you've given us so much wisdom.
Can I show my pictures? I found them.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Yes.
Okay. So to show these people, we go back.
Yes.
Okay. So you see my Instagram. Let me see if I can make it bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Look how many. It's a lot here too. Okay. So let's see. So here is here you and I. We were having fun. There's Carla.
Princess.
Yeah, I have my feet. Just look at us in the little outfits.
Yes.
So that was a good day.
Man, that was a beautiful day.
And then here's me, you and Carla. Yeah. We had a ball.
Yes, we did. Yes, we
Just
did.
that wig. And here's another one.
I like when you did this pose, but yeah, that back pose. Come on. Yes.
Oh, this one. Eduardo. Yeah, he passed away.
Eduardo, yes.
Yeah, I love that outfit too.
Yes.
So talented. And I think I might have here this one when we were backstage. When we were
that's the one I remember. I was just clinging to you.
we painted for the gods. So we were giving a little video. I love it. So we go back, girl. Oh, look at you. You did all
yes, Deanna. Come on now. One of the queens of ebony fashion there.
Yeah.
Yes, all of us, but that Deanna boy.
Man, oh yeah, that girl. I would pay her just to model, like just let me watch you walk. She was amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. All right, we're getting thank yous. This was so good. Princess, thank you again for your time. And if you could just close us out with a pearl of wisdom. Anything that we may have not covered, anything that just may be on your mind that you can close the students out with and leave them with a pearl.
It's more about just I'm really serious about what I'm saying in the sense that I like helping people, and the fact that you have these girls and they're interested in modeling or directing, whatever. I really want my social media, all that stuff is you probably have it in the little comments or whatever. But I really encourage people to buy my book too, because it will fill in a lot of the things I couldn't say within an hour. And I think you'll get a lot of pearls out of that. But I'm trying to think of like just one thing to say. I would say, don't look at other people and what they're doing. Just because their Instagram feed looks amazing, they having this great life. Always just focus on your own journey. Stay within your own space and what you're supposed to be doing. It's so much more beautiful over here than what you think is over there. I promise you. I feel so bad for the young people now, because when I look at the Instagram feeds and you're looking at these, and I'm like, people are comparing their lives to each other. And when I look at my feed sometimes, I'm like, oh, I'm fabulous. I'm like, I don't even look at it like that. I just try to, post these moments that are important to me. So when I leave, that, there's something left behind. But nobody's life is better than yours. I promise you.
But with that being said, we've heard from the beautiful, wise, loving, warm, energetic Princess. I'm hearing what's the IG? We'll post it in the comments. If you want to give a shout out right now, Princess.
It's Princess Filmz with the Z. Princess, then Films, Filmz. And then Real Black Unicorns is what it is. Real Black Unicorns on IG as well. Twitter, everything's the same.
And then make sure you all get this book. I'm going to get the book as well. I think what we should do, you all, is do some type of report. So we're going to get this book and we're going to dig in and we're going to give Princess some feedback. All right.
Give me a review on Amazon. Yeah. Okay.
That's what
it's available on Amazon, or you can go on my website, princessfilmz.com, and you could just order it from Amazon and I would love a review from you and your girls.
Okay. You got it, love. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was so
you.
fun.
Yes. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for another edition of Model Talk Tuesdays.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm like, am I supposed to sign off?
Yeah, I gotta make sure.
I know if you want to say something to me after.